Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Today I'm going to be getting ready with you and also trying out these new products from e.l.f. because I've literally been seeing them everywhere. This is the Halo Glow Powder, and then this is their liquid blush, also by e.l.f. I'm also going to be talking about some college tips because I know I had absolutely no idea what to expect, and all of those little quirky videos, like, they weren't exactly my experience, so I want to share with you what I really thought college was like and some helpful tips that might actually help you in your college experience. So next I'm going to be doing my concealer. I used the Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser. Now I didn't mean to get Age Rewind because I'm 18, but it works pretty good, so I just kept using it. Also, my next topic is going to be social life and how that's different than high school. Because it is and it isn't. Like, you know, hanging out with my college friends sometimes feels like just like high school, but it's also different because you'll make very different friends than what you would in high school. In high school, there's not very many people to choose from. You won't meet very different people. Most of the people are literally within 30 minutes of the school. Y'all all talk the same, you act the same. But when you get to college, you're gonna meet people from everywhere. Like, one of my closest friends, he's from Arkansas, and he's like very different than me, and he does things different and he eats different foods, and it's very interesting to meet new people from other places. And it's also easier to meet people that will actually like share your hobbies and interests. Like, it's not just whatever people were around you in homeroom, it's like actually interesting people that you really do like and enjoy being friends with. Because my friends at my old school, I didn't really fit in with them. They were just like the closest to me. But now that I go to a college with so many more students, there's so many more people to choose from, and I found friends that I actually really like. But it is hard to adjust to at first because you're used to knowing everybody and having all of these friends, and then you go to having one or two people that you went to high school with but you don't really know, and that can be kind of weird at first. But honestly, it's not the same as high school, as in you're the kid that sits by themselves, so you're a loser. In college, some people will choose to sit by themselves to do homework, and you don't have to be social if you don't want to, and no one's really going to judge you for that because no one really cares. And that is a big lesson I had to learn. Next, I'm going to be trying the e.l.f. Halo Glow Blush I mentioned earlier. I've heard a lot of good things about this, but there are a lot of big influencers, so they were probably getting paid to talk about how much they like this, and so I'm not really sure if they do, so I'm gonna see if I like it. Oh, that's kind of cool. But I'm also gonna be talking about professors and how I think they're different than high school teachers. Now, I do think they're kind of similar. There's things that my professors have said to me in this past semester, because I'm a first semester college student. Probably should have mentioned that earlier, but I'm a first semester college student. And my high school teachers had a lot to say about how college would be different and what the teachers would be like. And they were like, oh, the teachers aren't gonna care. They're not gonna harp on to you about grades. And maybe it's because I'm a freshman and most of my classes are freshman level. It seems like my teachers are just as concerned about me getting my stuff in on time as my high school teachers were. And also about listening. I kind of thought that once I got to college, my teachers were not going to care at all. And if someone sat on the class, on their phone, the teacher wouldn't even care. But honestly, they do. I've had almost all of my teachers get on to students about falling asleep or being on their phone or having their AirPod in, or honestly just not paying attention. And I didn't expect that. You know, they're honestly quite similar to my high school teachers, honestly. And maybe that's because I'm at a small school, I don't really know, but it almost feels like we're being babied a little, and I just didn't expect that, you know, because we're supposed to be adults. But I mean, as far as other stuff go, I do think they treat us like adults. This is really pretty. I really like it. I didn't know if I was going to. I have this other liquid blush that I absolutely love, but when I went to rebuy it, I could not find it anywhere. So I decided to take a chance on e.l.f. because I heard about it everywhere, and I'm so glad I did, because this is literally even prettier than my old one. And I tried this other one before I tried e.l.f. and it literally felt like I was putting face paint, or it's like, just, it felt so bad. It felt like I was putting like kids paint on my face. But this goes on so cute. It is really, the packaging is really cute. And it looks so good. Like, it's not too much, but you can still very much see that I have blush on. Okay, real quick before I use this and put it on and stuff, I want to mention how I really love this packaging right here, where you can like, I don't know if you can see, but like those little squares is where it comes out. And you can literally, hold on, you can literally close up the whole thing and none will spill out, which that was already on there. That's not like a spillage, but like, it literally will not spill out. That's so cool, because my last one would always make a mess every time I'd open it and anything, and like, I'm so grateful for that. I apologize for the camera quality change. My phone ran out of storage, so I'm having to film this on somebody else's device. But next I'm gonna try out this e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder. It's in the shade Light, because I'm really pale, but I really hope it doesn't like make me look like a ghost, because sometimes it will do that. But yeah, I ran out of powder, and it was the same thing. I literally could not find it anywhere. And like, I found it at Walmart, but I didn't have my shade. It was just a bunch of darker shades. It didn't have any of the lighter shades there, so I guess maybe they ran out or something, but I don't know. I need a powder, because I can't have my makeup rubbing off everywhere. So, sorry guys, let me struggle to get this open real quick. So, I'll come back. This powder is super pretty, and it's making my skin look really good, and like my skin feels completely dry, which I like, because I hate feeling like my face is like wet and cakey. But it also, and it feels light too. Like, some powders feel so heavy, this one feels so light, and it's like, you know, it's like not like crusted or nothing. Like, sometimes it gets crusty if you get the wrong powder, but this honestly looks really good. I'm happy with this. e.l.f. might be the way to go. Forget the $40 brands, e.l.f. might be the way to go. Another thing I want to talk about is if commuters can have like the same college experience as those that live on campus. So I'm a commuter, and literally all of my other friends live on campus. And I'm gonna be honest, I already had to get loans to finish covering my tuition. So buying a dorm would literally be like almost impossible for me. I would have to take out like way more loans, and it's just not reasonable. But honestly, if I could take out loans and get a dorm, I 100% would, because my friends seem to have like way more of a college experience than I do. So I think if you're young and you're trying to enjoy college, and having a good college experience is important to you, I would 100% live on campus if you have the choice. But I mean, as a commuter, there are still ways to get involved. Like, you know, I go to like every single campus event that they host. You know, like free bowling night, free movie night. I'm always going and hanging out with my friends, because I want to feel as included as I can, even though I don't live there and I commute every day. Which my commute's about 15 minutes, so honestly it would be a little ridiculous to get a dorm. But part of me wishes that I could just live down there and with all my friends and like hang out all the time, because, you know, I'm young and I feel like college is a transition period from really being like a teenager and a kid to it's like that in between being a teenager and an adult. You know, because once you graduate and you get like a professional job and you start working and you move out, like that's when you really become an adult. And this is like your last stage of being young and having fun, and I really want to make the most out of that. That's really important to me. And so, you know, I don't know, I may even try to get more scholarships and literally move into a dorm, because it seems so much better. But yeah, you guys, if you have the chance, I would 100% stay in a dorm, even if it's with a stranger and you have to get used to them. Like, my friends seem to have absolutely no problems with that. I know some people do, but they didn't. I think it's kind of like the kind of person you are you easy to get along with, that kind of thing. So yeah, I would 100% live on campus if you can. The next thing I want to talk about is workload as like a college freshman, because obviously I can't talk for like, you know, if you're like really into your major and you're like in your third year, I can't speak on that, but I can speak on freshman year because I was so afraid that I was going to have a huge workload, but honestly it's really manageable. But while I talk about that, I'm also going to be doing my eyeshadow with my favorite palette that's Top. I don't know how to say that, but it's by ColourPop, and as you can see, it is very well loved. I love her, I use her every day. And I'm also going to be doing my highlight because I literally just take my finger and put it in the shade Slated, and then just like put it right there. And it just has a cute little shimmer to my face. But about the workload, so I expected to have like assignments to do like every day, but honestly, I don't even have to do homework every day. I do homework about every other day, every 2 days, and sometimes I can even go a few days without doing homework. Just depending on if I really feel like doing something that day. It's really not bad. And the assignments that I have are pretty easy. I mean, my major is undecided, so maybe that is why it's really easy. I'm not sure. But especially in the beginning, it was hardly anything. And like I've barely had any tests either. Like I literally have not had to study because I had one test and it was open notes. Like we literally just went and made a note sheet and had all the answers and everything. Didn't even have to study. Now my friends, it is a little bit different because they took like history classes, but even they don't seem to have that heavy of a workload. So that's definitely not something that you need to stress about your freshman year. And I definitely think you have enough time for a work study job because I didn't know if I would have time. I didn't sign up for one, and I really wish I did because I could have used the extra money, you know, for the things that I need. That's another topic I'm going to talk about because I don't think a lot of people talk about that. But yeah, workload is not bad at all. And honestly, I think that you can adjust your workload to your level. Like, you know, you can take like some harder classes and some easier classes in the same cluster. But especially, like, you can make sure that you don't just load yourself with really hard classes. And you can choose the times and whether they're virtual or you really just have to work with making your schedule. I mean, college teaches you a lot of skills, and I think one of those is probably time management. So I think that, you know, your workload is something that you learn to manage, and freshman year, not even bad. There's not one friend I have that is a freshman who is struggling with their workload. So I just put the shade Python, which is this one right here, in my crease, and for the base I used Boa. Now, as for my shimmer in the middle, I'm gonna use Snake Eyes. It's the one in the middle that's very, very well loved. But yeah, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is money and how much you really need to go to college besides like tuition. So if you're a commuter or if you're a resident, it's gonna be different, but I can talk about both considering I am a commuter myself, and I can tell you about my personal expenses, and I can also tell you about my friends who live on campus. So as for mine, mainly is food and gas. This is the e.l.f. eyeliner, liquid eyeliner. But as for me, it's food and gas are my biggest expenses. So gas is about $50 every week and a half, I would say, which I live 15 minutes from my school. So obviously I'm not gonna spend a whole lot in gas because a tank lasts me about a week and a half. As for food, I buy food every day because I go to class and then my classes end around 3, but I like to stay and talk to my friends that live on campus, so I usually stay there all day, so I do have to eat lunch and stuff. And lunch for me every day is about $8. Mainly everywhere I go it'll be 8 because we have our cafeteria, that's about 9. We also have Chick-fil-A and other restaurants around there. It's usually about $9 a day. So realistically, I need about $45 a week for food, and then about $50 for gas. So really about $100 every week or two, which I have a job that gives me about that much, so that's how I sustain myself. But I'm sure like a work study job or something would easily cover that. On campus is probably way more, because you have to think like, you know, if you live at home, then your mom buys like your laundry detergent and like your dryer sheets and your shampoo and conditioner. Like your mom's buying all this for the house, but when you live on your own in college, you have to buy it yourself. And so there's all of that. Now I can't give you a good estimate about how much that would be, but I would imagine it would be, probably have to buy that stuff at least once a month. Probably be like $200, $200. I don't know. I don't know how well a work study job would do that. I would have to ask one of my resident friends, but it was definitely something I looked into when I was gonna live at a dorm in another college. Was like how much that was gonna be, and I was like, can I really do that in my budget? And I decided that it wasn't gonna work for me, but depending on how much your parents can help you and what kind of job you have, you very well may be able to do that. Now let's talk about school supplies while I do my mascara. I have been trying out, see, the one I love is called Bad Girl Bang, and it's like $28 for a big tube of it, and I absolutely love it, but that was just way too much. So I tried to find a drugstore brand that I also really liked, and then I've heard of L'Oreal Telescopic, and I really like it, so I'm gonna use that for you guys today. But as I was saying about school supplies, I've seen people like dramatically overbuy for college, because I guess they think it's gonna be like high school, but in all honesty, the only thing I think I would really need is one notebook and one folder, because I get very, very few paper copies of anything. Everything is on campus. And as for notes, I haven't took a whole lot as a freshman, mainly because a lot of stuff is on campus. Like the slideshows I go through and stuff, it's on campus. And so realistically, I only needed like a big notebook and a folder, and then some pencils and pens. I mean, whichever one you want. I mean, it's college, I do not care. I mean, I guess some professors probably care about like the color of the pens and stuff, but like, yeah. So honestly, you don't need a whole lot. Like you don't need big fancy set of highlighters or anything like that, unless you just want to have that. I know some people are extra and they like to have their fancy stuff, but in reality, you don't need it. If you're a broke college student like me, you don't need it. So yeah, I just thought that I'd throw that out there because I've seen a lot of my friends overbuy, and you really don't have to. I'm gonna brag on this mascara for a minute because it makes my eyelashes look so much longer and fuller, but it also doesn't give me like spider lashes. You know where they like all stick together and they like that's like the crusty, like your eyelashes literally feel heavy kind of look. It's just like cute, natural, not too much. One of my favorites. I mean, obviously, I still love my Bad Girl Bang, and it's my favorite, but as for a drugstore option, this is definitely my favorite, because the other ones are awful. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna put some Maybelline Pink Pose on my face, on my lips, to add a bit of color to my face. I think this adds just a perfect pop of color without being way too much. And now I'm just gonna use this little piece of paper towel and clean it up, because I always clean up your lipstick, girls. Last thing I want to talk about is like dress codes and stuff in high school, especially for us girls. Dress codes are super strict, and like we literally can't even have our shoulder out, but college is not like this. But I wouldn't recommend trying to wear like scandalous little clothes, because honestly you'll probably get cold. Like you definitely need to dress in layers, because it can get really, really cold in some of the classrooms. And I guess like at the beginning of school it can be a little bit hot. I don't really get hot that much, so honestly it was pretty good for me. And honestly, people don't try very hard in college. I mean, yeah, there's those few girls that really dress up and like look their best every day, But a lot of girls honestly just wear sweats and put their hair up and call it a day, which honestly is so valid. We're tired and we have a lot of stuff to do and we're just trying to get through. So honestly, just wear what you want. If you want to wear sweats, don't feel like you need to dress up. But hey, if you like to dress up, don't feel like you can't do that either. Because honestly, in college, nobody cares. You can just be yourself. You can do what fits you, what you want to do. One of my favorite parts about college, it's also very inclusive. I feel like people don't really make fun of you if you're different. Like if you're different, you're just different, and you can find your own group of people that are just like you. Like I absolutely love college. It was way better than high school, elementary school, middle school, anything. It is my favorite. It is teaching me so much, and I recommend it to everybody, you know. So, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too boring or anything. I mean, this is my first shot, but yeah, I'll see you guys whenever I make another video. Bye!